So we're going to go in with our styling now. I'm going to use my GHD soft curve tong, and I'm just going to show you how I do this. So I always like to go on a diagonal. I think the wave sits nicer. I'm going to leave out any I'm not really going to go in there with the baby hairs again. I don't want to create any fluffy ones. I find styling quite hard to explain myself because it's just something I do. But if you watch how I'm sort of twisting up. So if I want a more soft sort of lived in look, I'll take my tong and I just straighten out the ends. Can I tilt you right forward? These are the ones I just leave out. I don't want to curl them and make them stand out even more. I do get that heat right into the root area. Pull out, roll back up, twist. If say that your clients maybe due a haircut or their ends are a little bit, dehydrated, is that a nice word? You wouldn't maybe necessarily want to straighten out the ends. Sometimes it can be nice to keep them curly. I think that just has a softer look. So a nice clean section, twist. You elevate a little bit so that you can get right into the root without obviously burning your client. So for this we just really rough dried and just sort of smoothed the ends off. We didn't want to over straighten the hair or over polish it. We are going for a textured result. So it's nice to keep a little bit of that natural texture in there. And I feel like it supports the wave more if I'm not overworking the hair. And also then it's just quick. So you can get the styling done in 20 minutes, which is nice. So really getting into that root area, we want that wave. We want to get some width and some height, a bit of body. Sarah's has a little bit flat, which most girls are. It's quite heavy and flat here, so we want to sort of create texture with our styling. If you don't have layers in your haircut as well, you can create sort of more lift and sort of more layering just from your styling, which I think is really nice. Sometimes I like to prep the hair as well. If it's a bit slippy, after freshly washing it, we've washed it a couple times, we've conditioned, we've got the gloss, I will layer in some sea salt spray, just lightly, a few spritzes, and then I'll layer over some dry shampoo, and that creates a nice foundation for my wave to hold on to. It gives the hair some grit and a bit of fatness. And then I would just be cautious how much I use. And if the hair is a bit processed or finer, naturally a bit drier, that might not be a technique I do because it can make it feel a bit sticky. So it's all about looking at your client, their hair texture, and then assessing what would be the best result. Just working straight down from the part. Same with my color, nice and simple. Just chin up for me. Rather than having to pick up your comb, you can use your fingernail to sort of pull out any flyaways or tangle tease through. The more twists I do, the more sort of curvatures and C's and more of that wave I'm going to get in there. I'll just tilt you forward.
So each time you pull the straightener down, do you have a sort of idea of how far you're going to slide it down before you twist it, or something you just do?
I think it's
via
just
feel?
something I do via feel, but I think as you noticed underneath, around the face, I sort of pulled down further. So whereas this I'm a bit tighter with my turns, and that's just because I want to create more texture through the top. Like we're saying, with not really having any layering, the more curly I make it up here, and sort of if I get the curl higher, I'm going to create a little bit of lift and a little bit of texture through the top, and I want this to be a bit longer underneath. This will create more like a layered textured feel, rather than just, you can notice I'm doing it all off the face. This creates a bit more of a I wouldn't say glam, but everything falls together. Get the curl right into the root. This is what I find gives more sort of height. And for these top layers, I don't straighten the ends. I feel like they're all a little bit more fish hooky. So if we straighten it out, it draws the attention to that. But if we leave it curly, it looks a bit more polished on the ends, which is always great for like capturing content. So yeah, leaving those ends curly rather than straightening them out, it will just give a nicer end result. So while the hair is hot, we can sort of mold it into shape. So you can flatten down here. You can really pull this out, and that's going to sort of set into that shape a lot better. So I've gone through and done I've done all back from the face on this side as well. I've let it cool down for a few minutes. I've used a tiny bit of a shine spray, and then I'm just going to go in with a large tooth comb. And Sarah's hair, I think, can drop out quite quick, so I don't overwork it, but I do believe in my foundations of waving it and how I did it, that I can go through and dress out without feeling like it's going to flop too much. So really using my hands as well to manipulate, massage out that wave. Push down here. I think with women as well, because they really want to soften this area, we wave like this to sort of draw attention to the cheekbones and eyes. This is why we've got this length cut in. This is why we do face frames. So we really want to just massage that. So with this sort of product, I'm really like, just gentle. It's like a shh, 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 shh. Remember doing a Sharon Blaine, who's this amazing hair up, and she described like when you're doing it with hairspray, not to shh, just to really. So whenever I do it, I just hear her little Australian voice in the background going shh, shh, shh. Just not to overload. I think we can just layer is so much nicer. Lift and layer. Beautiful, but I like the hair to move, so I don't want it to be stuck anywhere, so I don't overdo it. I think just, yeah, give it a little pinch up, and that's gorge.